Today, the spotlight is on John Sugden, one of Emmerdale's most complex and unforgettable villains. And the irony is that even in death, he's still managing to wreak havoc on everyone left behind. What's really striking is that John's full stop is actually the starting gun for Victoria Sugden's tragedy. After the major Corriedale accident out in the woods, Victoria injected her brother with a syringe and then placed it in John's hand so it would look as if he'd done it to himself. From that moment on, everything could be neatly filed away on the surface, but inside, Victoria has been slowly eaten alive by guilt. If you look closely, Victoria's torment isn't only about the fact that she killed someone. It's also about her belief that she's the one who brought John back to the village in the first place. She blames herself for convincing him to stay in Emmerdale so she could finally get to know him and build some kind of bond. And in Victoria's mind, if she hadn't made that choice, John wouldn't have been there to trigger a chain of disasters. Because, let's be honest, John was never the kind of person you'd call misunderstood. Before he died, he killed Nate Robinson and sent multiple people to hospital at different times, all while trying to prove what a hero he supposedly was. And it only got worse as he spiraled further out of control. He kidnapped Mackenzie, then dragged Aaron over a cliff. Plain and simple, John was a danger to society. But the problem is, Victoria can't process it in such a clean, logical way, because no matter what John became, he was still her brother. And here's the most chilling part. While Victoria is drowning in guilt, she has no idea that Joe Tate filmed her standing over John's body with the syringe. That detail changes everything, because it turns a secret that felt hers alone into a weapon in someone else's hand, a blade that can be used for blackmail at any moment. Joe then used that video to force Robert into doing something dirty, planting incriminating documents at Moira's place, designed to link her to Celia Daniels' people trafficking operation. And the fallout is explosive. Moira isn't just arrested on trafficking allegations. She's also arrested for murder after Celia's body is discovered buried on Moira's land, alongside one of Celia's victims. In the episodes ahead, Victoria hears that the investigation into John's death has been ruled a suicide. It should be a moment of relief, but she still can't escape her guilt. Sometimes a tidy conclusion on paper is even more terrifying, because you know that if a single piece of truth slips out, the whole story collapses. Then the next shock hits when Victoria overhears Joe Tate talking to Robert about plans to sell their share of the farm to Joe. Joe pushes to fast-track the deal and coldly reminds Robert that if he doesn't move things along, Joe can always plant evidence himself. If you listen carefully, that line reveals everything. Joe isn't just blackmailing people. He's willing to fabricate reality and manipulate whatever he needs to get what he wants. Victoria confronts Robert, and eventually he admits he's the one who hid the documents at Moira's farm. From there, Victoria connects the dots. Joe used the video to blackmail Robert, and that realization stabs her a second time, because she understands she's also indirectly responsible for Moira being behind bars, even though she never wanted any of this. Joe tightens the screws. He pressures Victoria to sign the contracts immediately and threatens to release the video if she refuses. But Victoria doesn't fold straight away. She insists she needs to take the paperwork home and read it properly before signing. A last attempt to claw back even a shred of control while she's being cornered. Joe, however, has no patience. The next day, he delivers an ultimatum. Victoria has 6 hours to get Moira's signature on the sale documents, or he'll hand the video over to the police. At that point, Victoria is trapped with no safe exit. Refuse, and she risks being investigated for John's death. Comply, and she's pushing Moira into a decision that could wreck her future. Feeling completely boxed in, Victoria goes to the prison to speak to Moira. She claims the farm is impossible to manage, and selling is the only option. Moira lifts her pen to sign, and that's when Victoria blurts out that the buyers are the Tates. Suddenly, everything freezes, because the Tates essentially means Joe, the man behind the entire pressure campaign. So the question hangs in the air. Will Moira still sign once she knows the buyers are the Tates? And if she refuses, will Joe carry out his threat, handing the video to the police and making sure Victoria is held accountable for John's death? This could be a sign that Victoria is heading toward a brutally heavy ending, especially with this storyline leading into Victoria's exit from Emmerdale, as Isabel Hodgins prepares for maternity leave in real life. If you want me to keep bringing you the latest updates and breaking down whether Victoria has any way out of Joe's trap without dragging Moira down even further, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next twists.